Hello one and all, and welcome back to the Chelsea FC Save with me, Frew FM. Episode 36 is upon us and we're going to play Southampton today. Right then, there's a lot to catch up on, so I'll try and whiz through it as quickly as I can. After the games against Liverpool and Valencia, we played Watford in the Premier League and won 1-0 thanks to a Nabil Fekir 25th minute strike. Then we played Manchester United and we got hammered. It was at home and Manchester United, they could have won by more in the end. They've just got so much firepower this season. The Manchester United and Liverpool are well ahead and there's probably no chance that we're going to catch them now. We could probably write the league off in all honesty. Then we returned to the Champions League with a game against Galatasaray and we absolutely smashed them 5-1. Goals from Kante, Belotti, a Promes brace and Eden Hazard. As you can see, Galatasaray got a bit excited and got two players sent off. We seem to be making a habit of 1-0 wins and that's exactly what followed the European game against Galatasaray against Stoke. Alvaro Morata with the solitary goal in that one. Then we played Tottenham in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. We are through to the semi-final and we were playing Crystal Palace. Andrea Belotti with the only goal of that game, but we dominated the game. We could have won by more. They made a really good result because we do sometimes struggle away from home. A really positive 4-1 victory against Swansea in the Premier League. Matthijs de Ligt scoring from a corner. Willian then scored a free kick, which was a very nice free kick. Nabil Fekir got himself a goal, which again was a really good goal, and then Kante made it 4-0 before Max Gradel decided he wanted to take away Thibaut Courtois' clean sheet, so 4-1. Then we played against Hull. We scored 3 goals in 5 minutes in the first half, 7, 10 and 12 minutes. Morata, Willian and Hazard with those goals. I'm really unsure on Eden Hazard this season. He's been very average and I just don't know whether to sell him. He's got 6 months left on his contract. I don't want him to go on a free, but I kind of don't want to give him a new contract because he'll probably ask for a wage rise. He's already on 225k a week. You can see the dilemma that I'm in. Then we played against Wolves and we were robbed. We dominated the game. Got ourselves ahead in the 7th minute through a goal from Anthony Martial. We rotated heavily with this game against Southampton, who were much closer to us in the league and probably going to challenge for top 4 this season. So I felt like we needed to play a stronger team in this game and rotate in the game against Wolves. And it cost us really. It held a cost us. No? Okay. But yeah, anyway, we got beat 2-1 and we didn't deserve it, but sometimes these things go against you. And as I mentioned before, we do struggle oftentimes away from home. I think somebody actually mentioned on episode 35, I think it was 35, in the comments section about playing Hazard as a inside forward on attack, Willian on the other side on support, and putting cross from deep on. And I'd done that in the games against, I'd done exactly what the comments said in the games against Watford and Manchester United, and it kind of just took away Willian's potency really. Willian's the one who's been the excellent player in this series, and it didn't really help Hazard out. And at this point, I don't feel like we should be catering for him because we've given him enough chances. Right then, so the game today against Southampton, we are only going to do one game. I just wanted to kind of come back to do a bit of a shorter episode, just to basically touch base before we get back into the Champions League in February, which I will go on to in a second. Now, this last 16 draw is pretty interesting, if you ask me, against Red Bull Leipzig, because we did get Red Bull Leipzig, or RB Leipzig, whichever you want to call them, and as you will well know, we actually beat them earlier in the season in the European Super Cup, which wasn't as comfortable as I would have liked, but having said that, we still dominated the game, and I would expect us to beat Leipzig over 2 legs, really. The issue is that Leipzig have just actually, obviously they're the holders of the Champions League at the minute, so they shouldn't be underestimated. Not only that, they've also just won the Club World Cup Championship, or whatever it's called, but anyway, they're practically the champions of the world. Alright, then let's get into this Southampton game without any further ado. So as I mentioned before, we rotated heavily against Wolves so that we could play our full strength side in this game. We're not actually going to play Belotti up front as is there. We're going to play Alvaro Morata up front because he's the one who's scoring in the league. So this is the team. It's Courtois, Tini, Christensen, De Ligt, Azpilicueta, Jorginho, Barkley and Fekir. N'Golo Kante has broken his ribs, so he won't be involved for a few weeks now. Eden Hazard on the left-hand side with Willian and Morata. Let's do this. Actually, just before we do that, I want to show you the Premier League table and the fact that Mario Balotelli's got 16 goals in 18 games for Newcastle. Well, 19 games, but either way, it's pretty astonishing. Anyway, we are 14 points behind. We are still third, and it's looking like there's a bit of a gap opening up between us and sort of 6th, 7th place. Manchester City are having a terrible season, as are Arsenal. Tottenham, their Champions League prospects are looking a bit sketchy. But we should really cement a Champions League place. We're not going to win the league this season. We're already 14 points behind Manchester United, who are actually unbeaten. So, yeah. Nabil Fekir is actually getting consistently top of the average rating tables, and he was actually named in the FIFA World Team of the Year. Right, anyway, let's get into this game. Stop faffing around. Southampton go with a 4-2-3-1 formation, but what I would say about this is my knowledge of these players, Gabbiadini, Seferovic and Igalo, you can see the top three there, they're all strikers, they're all natural centre forwards, so you know, two inside forwards, Gabbiadini's left footed, Haris Seferovic is right footed to my knowledge, but I think it's going to be more like a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-1-3 than a 4-2-3-1. I think the two wide players are going to probably play more as inside forwards and be a bit more advanced. Right, we'll say, assertively say, come on lads, show me what you can do. They seemed delighted and motivated by that. We're going to give them a bit of faith. Ooh, that didn't seem to work, but you know, they look delighted now. Let's do this anyway. They seem delighted and happy again, so... Right, then we've got the two teams trodden out with the match officials in the middle. St Mary's looking pretty damn special, I must say, with all the Southampton white and red looks pretty good. So we have started the game pretty well in our usual fashion of dominating the ball, but Southampton now come forward. Hazard now on the left. I want to see a bit more from Hazard this game, and he does go for it. Good save from Fraser Forster. We've got our first corner of the game. That's a bit better from Hazard, driving at the defence, doing what he does best. Lays it back to Barkley. Hazard. It's a good tackle from GK, who I think in our last game against Southampton actually scored an own goal. So here's Gabbiadini, who I said would probably play more as an inside forward. Looks like he is. It was a good sliding tackle in the end to sort him out. So we're having a great deal of the ball. It's just there's no penetration, which is quite a common thing for us here. As Seferovic comes back to pick that up, and now Southampton can drive forward. Mario Lemina, who's a very good sort of Roman playmaker at midfield, as Igalo inexplicably just smashes it from about 40 yards. So Willian with the free kick. Oh, he scored another one. It's words. Willian has now scored two direct free kicks in the last sort of 6 or 7 games. You know how infrequently direct free kicks are scored on this game, so that tells you something about Willian's dead ball proficiency. Got another highlight here. Mario Lemina now. Seferovic. You can see the front three are fairly narrow for Southampton, as I predicted. Willian now drives forward in usual fashion, through for Morata. It's 2-0 and back on track, shall we say. How many times has this happened in this season, in this series though, that Willian's got forward and he's just sort of drifted right past the defence, goes past the left back and pops it in for Morata. A Willian to Morata goal has been quite a frequent occurrence in this series, and that is despite my hatred towards Alvaro Morata, so I probably should retract that, but I'm not gonna. Right then, highlight just before half time. Can we hold on to this 2-0 lead or can we extend it? Willian again driving at the defence. Fekir. Nabil Fekir pops it wide. Right. Aye. So we go in for half time, 2-0 up, 2-0 to the good. Southampton have offered very little in truth, and I hope it stays that way in the second half. Very pleased with your performance. Keep it going, just keep things going and don't let up. The Orion Igalo's banging in a solid 6, that means he's definitely going to score now. But we do win the header in the defence, and here Hazard driving forward, and that is a pool finish as we've become accustomed to, unfortunately. Gabbiadini now with a free kick. He's gone for it, and it's a save, and it's saved again. No, it wasn't saved again, but that was, I think the free kick was deflected, and what was a brilliant reaction save there from Thibaut Courtois. We're going to make some substitutions. We're going to get Anthony Martial on because he scored in the last game against Wolves for Eden Hazard, who hasn't impressed. I'm just wondering whether to sell him in this transfer window. It's a real quandary I've got. That is the only sub we're going to make for now and get back into this game. Hopefully we can hold on and make it another win away at Southampton, which is a tricky game considering the start to the season that they've had. 75 minutes is gone now. We're now going to get Barkley off for Denis Suarez and just switch these two over because I think Fekir is more of a Mazzala than Suarez is. And we're going to get nobody else on for now. I'm going to tell the team to concentrate because we've had a bit of a track record of conceding late goals. So Willian now, edge for Suarez. Denis Suarez just wide. 82 minutes gone, got another highlight just after that blazed shot from Denis Suarez. It's in from Willian, but Southampton do pick it up now, and here's Haris Seferovic come down the left hand side, and Jorginho mops out. That's very nicely done. Morata nods down for Suarez, and Suarez now back to Morata. They're playing a little 1-2 between them, but Morata loses the ball, and now Southampton can build from the back. Bednarek, Romeu, nice little triangle. That is crazy. Jikia now. It wasn't a great clearance, and Tini has given it to Morata. Tini drives forward again. Martial, Suarez, Fekir. Still 2-0 then as we go into the last 5 minutes of the game. 3 minutes of added time. There's a highlight, and there's probably a couple of minutes left for another goal here as Tini comes forward and loses out to Manolo Gabbiadini. Pumped forward by Southampton. Christensen mops up in the channel, gives it to Delete, and we can just now build from the back nice and calmly. Denis Suarez to Willian, who will probably beat the defender for fun, and he does. Once again, Willian, is it going to be to Morata? No, Romeu gets it away. Bednarek pumps it up, and Seferovic has stayed up the pitches as Piliqueta came forward and left the space in behind. Boufal! And that's wide. It was a terrible effort from Sofiane Boufal. Remember that goal that Sofiane Boufal scored? I don't know if it won goal of the season or not, but it was a really good goal. He sort of ran from his own half and just ended up slotting it coolly past the goalkeeper. But he doesn't seem to have done anything else in a Southampton shirt since then. I think he might have actually gone out on loan somewhere this season in real life. But yeah, playing it around the back. Denis Suarez now. Great tackle from Classy. That was a classy challenge, you might say. Another one who sort of never really made it in a Southampton shirt was Jordi Classy, and ended up going out on loan to Bruges, I think it was last season, in real life again. But yeah, always thought he was a decent player at Feyenoord. He just never really made it. And the referee decides it is full time, and we've won. It was a pretty comfortable victory in the end against Southampton, 2-0 to Chelsea, and we'll take it forward from here. Very pleased with the resulting performance. The boys love it. Let's get out of here. Willian was in fine form today, wasn't he? Yes, he was. He was absolutely terrific. Showed just how good he is. Fekir's been very good. Mauricio Pellegrino is still the manager on this game after 3 seasons, which is impressive. He's a great manager and a better person. I consider him a friend just because he used to play for Liverpool. You see, not many people will realise that, but he did. Centre back, Morata close, Stringham clause. Another 1 million. We've just had to pay $1 million out not long ago. I think it's 5 away from 50 league goals. It might have been his appearances last time, I think. Willian was on form, of course he was. Superb in front of goal. He scored. Well, another free kick. And Rafa Benitez was. Rafa Benitez is the Spain boss. So, and he was having a look at Oriol Romeu for the Spain squad as Piliqueta and Morata. Couple of very interesting things happening there, to be honest. Right then, so as I say, I did want to come back for you know, just to sort of as a midpoint between now and February for the 2 legs against. Well, it's actually late February as well, between you know, it's sort of a few weeks as well, where we've got you know, the first leg against Leipzig, and then the second leg in March, which is kind of strange. I didn't never think they're that far apart, but you know, there's a good 2 to 3 weeks between those games. It's really strange. But that is probably when we will come back. But you know, I've got a track record really of not coming back when I say I'm going to come back. So expect probably another video, you know, in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. But if we get to the final of the Carabao Cup, I'll obviously do that game. But we've already won it twice on the trot. You know, likelihood is we're probably going to win it again, although Manchester United are still in it, and they are just unstoppable this season. So the aim of this season obviously is to win the Champions League, which I think is doable. We just need to make sure that we try and stay injury free. And we are at the start of the transfer window, so you could expect probably the next time we come back that we might have some new players kicking around. Eden Hazard might have left, he might have signed a new contract. Who knows at this point? I don't know. He might have also signed a pre-contract agreement with another team. I don't know if he can do that. I don't know quite how that works, to be honest with you, but yeah, the Eden Hazard situation will unfold, and I'm sure you'll find out in the next episode. But that does bring us to the end of this episode. I think I might have said at the start of the episode it was episode 36, but I actually think it's episode 37. You'll find out obviously in the title anyway, and you'll think, what an idiot when I say episode 36 in the introduction, but never mind. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you could drop me a like, comment or subscribe, I would be most humbled. Thanks again for watching now. Bye bye.